Hi friends, it's Dominique, the Nourishing Mystic, and today I'd like to talk to you about one of my favorite magical practices, which is affirmations. And if you're familiar with the typical way people talk about affirmations, you might kind of shrug them off thinking, okay, it's a little cliche, it's a little corny, so I'm not going to bother with it. But I'd like to suggest that if you have that kind of view of affirmations, maybe rethink this, and I'll try to explain why. First off, it is because our words have power. Our words, they shape our reality. So I consider it to be spell work. So every time we do an affirmation, I consider it like doing a spell. And it's kind of like how in ritual, we always want to put an intent behind our magic, and the affirmation is just the statement of our intent. So typically, we tend to think of a magical spell or magical ritual. You kind of have to set circle and call in the elements and do all of these aspects of ceremony. But affirmations are good when you don't really have the time or the spoons to do that. So I know from a lot of my friends, the biggest thing that I hear are people who feel like they're not really witches, or they don't feel in tune with their craft or their spirituality because they never have the time or energy to do a full ritual, or they get so busy, so stressed out, they forget things like when the full moon actually is, or when to do a Sabbath celebration. It's just life. So doing affirmations is honestly one of the best ways to make your entire life feel magical, to infuse magic throughout your day. So typically we try to make this separation between our spiritual and magical practice and our mundane life. So affirmations are a way to bring the magical into the mundane, have it interweave throughout your life, and change your life in the process. So the reason why affirmations work, let's say from a non-magical perspective, is it helps us retrain our brain and helps us readjust our neural networks. So when your voice gets into the habit of telling you something over and over and over again, it starts building a neural pathway in your brain where your brain becomes very used to and nearly addicted to thinking in a certain way. So if you start getting into the habit of saying, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I never do anything right, I don't deserve wealth, I'm always going to be poor, I'm unlucky, nothing good ever happens to me, F my life. And you get used to saying that, even not seriously, but just say it throughout your day, just like, oh, F my life, like, oh, screw this, oh, I messed up, oh, I'm so lazy, and just, you start to say it without really thinking about it, and it kind of starts to make a groove in your brain where now that kind of just becomes natural to say these deprecating things to yourself. And using an affirmation practice is a good way to interrupt that habit. So when the brain goes, oh, I'm messing everything up, and you have an affirmation that goes, I'm doing the best I can, now it's stopping that neural pathway. It's saying, hey, brain, instead of continuing the groove going this way, we're going to make a new pattern going this way. Now we're going to start thinking of ourselves as beautiful. And it's kind of related, I think, to the placebo effect, where again, even if there's part of your mind that's skeptical and maybe doesn't really buy in to affirmations, and you just do them like, hey, maybe I'll just give this a shot, it really works. It's something about saying it, about having the words going through your mind and repeating them, that helps to change those neural pathways and literally does change the way you see yourself and see yourself in the world. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I look so ugly, and then you change it with an affirmation that says, I am beautiful, even if at the start, at the beginning of the practice, give it a few weeks, even a month of saying this, you say, I feel beautiful, and you're still on the inside, you're like, no, I'm ugly. Give it some time, continue the practice, continue saying, I feel beautiful, and before you know it, before you even recognize it happening, you'll start to look at yourself a little differently. You'll start to say, oh, I see, I am beautiful. Oh, here's beauty. Oh, I want to do things that make me feel more beautiful. I'm going to take time now for self-care. I'm going to take time to give myself lotion. Okay. And before you know it, that affirmation has really worked. And that's how it works. I think most people just shrug it off because they either don't do it enough or they don't give it enough time to set in. And so they just stop doing it and say, oh, this is just some woo-woo, bumbo jumbo, BS. And I do have to say the aside, of course, that this is not a replacement for serious mental health therapy or medication. So again, if you do have a health condition where you are chronically depressed or suffering from chronic anxiety, I don't want to come and make you think that affirmations is, boom, instantly the cure for that. Again, if you do need to take medication or go to therapy, please do. I am a huge supporter of that. This practice is specifically for, let's say, not serious health conditions. Like, this is, again, if you have just a negative maybe way of thinking that I think most of us have in our society, that most of us tend to feel beaten down by the circumstances around us, by capitalism, by so many structures in our life that makes life hard. Affirmations comes to be that extra additional support. So if you're in a situation where you need to take medication, you need to take therapy, do that first. That's most important. And then affirmations is the additional support behind you. So it's not an instant solution for every single thing in life, but it is an important practice, and it is a practice I recommend everyone do to help their lives. Again, whether they're spiritual or magical or not, I think it's helpful for everyone to be an additional layer of support in our lives. Again, our lives give us so much difficulty, so much negativity comes at us. We struggle so much with the media projecting this false image of what success is and what beauty is. And, it tears down our self-esteem and our self-worth. So affirmations is a good way to prop that back up. So I have some ideas on how you can really weave affirmations into your life. So traditionally, people think of affirmations and they say, okay, when you wake up, look in a mirror and tell yourself the affirmation in the mirror 3 times at the beginning of the day. And that's great. If that's all you want to do, that is the traditional way of doing it. But I want to suggest that this practice becomes so much more powerful and up to the next level if you actually weave the affirmations in surprising and interesting ways throughout your life and make them be pretty much everywhere in your life, everywhere during your day. Kind of do this to surprise your future self, and that really brings home the practice. So the more you can do the affirmation through the day, the better the practice will be. So I have listed a lot of ideas and got some examples here. First one is to write the affirmation in your journal. So if you're doing morning pages journaling, or you like to journal at the end of your day or journal your gratitude, write the affirmations as well. Write them down 3 times. Or if you have a planner, like I mentioned, the Magic of I planner, or a bullet journal, or a Hobonichi, whatever kind of planner that you have, even if it's just digital on your computer, again, write it, your daily affirmation, in your planner. Write it down 3 times. That way when you're looking at what's my to-dos, you're also seeing your affirmation. You could also, if you have a meditation practice, you can state the affirmation either during or after your meditation. Another one that I like is to wear the affirmation as jewelry. So there's lots of jewelry out there. One that I love that I got off of Etsy are these bracelets They're small and dainty, so they're not very noticeable, but they have the affirmation phrases in the center. So I am worthy, I am grateful, I am loved. I got these when I got a new job that I wasn't sure about, so I got these just to remind myself of these affirmations. Another one you can try is to write it on your skin. So even if you don't feel comfortable with regular ink on your skin, there's now tattoo markers that are out there, so you can write a little note on your wrist, or you could write it on your thighs, just something so it's actually on you and you can look at it during the day. That's another idea. What I like is in the morning when you take a shower, obviously you can say it in the shower, or when your mirror is fogged over, you can just write it in the mirror fog. And there are also on Etsy or other places decals that you can get for your mirrors. That way when you're looking at your mirror, in the corner of your mirror it says, you're beautiful, or you've got this, or live your best life. Whatever affirmation speaks to you, you can actually personalize those. So if you have your own affirmation, you can get that sticker on your mirror, and that's just, again, repeating it to yourself. Another fun one is to do a lot of different things with sticky notes. I like to think that sticky notes were part made for this practice, made for affirmations. Lots of ideas on where you can place sticky notes, write down the affirmation. One thing I thought of is your car sun visor. Put it on the inside of the sun visor. That way when you need to take it down, when you're driving someplace or take it down to look at the mirror, boom, there it is. Something like, I go with the universal flow. That way when the traffic is horrible and you're screaming at all the people around you and the person who cut you off, you still got that little reminder on your sun visor, like, yeah, I go with the universal flow, which sometimes the flow can be frustrating and you're going with it and you're getting through your day. So another boom, there's your reminder, there's your spell, there's a little bit of magic on your drive. You could also put the decal or the sticky note on top of notebooks, on top of journals. Some notebooks already have a little affirmation on them. This one is stay focused because you totally got this. This is also my morning pages journal. But anything you might be using for work. So you might be using a notebook, a graph paper, something like that. You can put the note there. Or you can put it on your computer monitor, your desk or your office space at work. If you're going to school, you can put it inside of a locker. There's your affirmation. And of course, if your company allows it, you can change your computer background to something that has an affirmation. Of course, change your phone background to something that has an affirmation. You can also carry around little cards. You can put that in a wallet. That's an affirmation. I am living with abundance. So that's a good one to put, maybe right in your wallet or in front of your credit card, that every time you pull out your credit card, you also pull out your affirmation. You can also use it as a bookmark. So use the affirmation card, write your own, make your own bookmark, put it in a book, and there you go. Every time you pick up to read the book, you've got that affirmation. Again, another sticky note that I like to put at my desk has a few affirmation reminders that I like to keep in mind. Another one is sometimes products that you get will have little affirmations with them or little cards with them. Like, I love these candles from Coventry Creations because each candle comes with a little spell / affirmation. So I like to keep these. You can cut them out, paste them onto a binder or paste them onto a note card on a bookmark somewhere where you'll see it. In this case, this one is: the dreams of night and the dreams of day fill me with inspiration. I nurture them and know that it is within my power to make them come true. And they're always beautifully written like that. So again, Coventry Creations, they do that with all of their candles, and there are many other products that include things like that. So when you get them, save them, use them, put them on your mirror. Another fun one is pens. So I got this pen, and I'll have to link the creator in the description because I absolutely love this pen and want to support her. So this is Art Witch. So I've got this one by my desk, but of course I could wear it at any time. I used to put it on the backpack that I took with me to work. So it's just a reminder every time I look at it, who am I? What am I about? What do I do? Art Witch. Another fun one, of course, is to use the fridge. So my friend Marie made these little magnets. This one says, I can do hard things, and it sticks right to my fridge. And with a magnet, you can also stick, again, any other affirmation card using the magnet to your refrigerator. Another one is maybe on your refrigerator you have a sticky note pad, and you keep that on the fridge so that you can always write little reminders to yourself in your day. So a fun idea, if you are packing a lunch to take with you to work or to school, you can just write down the affirmation on the sticky note, pull it off, put it in your lunch bag, and then when you've had a difficult or challenging day at work, and you're really upset, maybe you embarrassed yourself, or maybe you got a bad grade on one of your assignments and you're feeling down on yourself again, you open up your lunch at the middle of your day and you read your affirmation that's like, again, I'm always doing the best I can. I am worthy of success. I am an intelligent person. I am a wise person. Just put something that's gonna bring you back up. That when you think, oh, I'm a failure, again, have this reminder, I am worthy of success. I am able to achieve success. I work hard to achieve my dreams. I work hard and I'm achieving my dreams. Just kind of a little reminder like that. So when you know that you maybe stumbled during your day, that affirmation in your lunch bag is going to pick you up and remind you that problem at the beginning of your day, that was just a small part of your day. That doesn't have to ruin the entire rest of the day. And that's where getting the surprise affirmation puts you back up. Doodle it real quick in the morning before you head out the door. Maybe you forget what you wrote or you forget what it says, and you surprise yourself during the middle of your day and find, oh, that was exactly the message I needed to pick me up and help me refresh, ground, recenter, and connect with that spell work. And then, of course, there's artwork. So I did this wood burning. I am the wild witch of the earth, and I know my worth. So this one also sits at my desk, so I see it every day when I'm working. Doing some artwork, whether it be a wood burning or a drawing, a sigil, painting, something like that, just something small, again, that you can carry around with you and have that reminder. Because like I said, I see this as an ongoing spell. Like sometimes spells, we charge a ton of energy and send it out into the universe and say, okay, that's it. This is more of a spell that we're constantly charging the more we see it and the more we look at it. So the more we see it, say it to ourselves, or repeat it during our day, the more energy and power that we're putting into this work. Also with artwork, if you are a painter or somebody who does digital art, think about writing the affirmation either as a bubble for the character, maybe it's a writing on their shirt, or if you do landscapes, maybe it's a carving in the ground or it's written in the clouds. Somewhere incorporate the affirmation, even if it's almost imperceptible to someone else, incorporate that into the artwork. So subtly putting the affirmations to where you're working. Another idea is to use them in candles. Whether you have an electric candle, you can write it on the electric candle, or you can carve it into a physical candle. Really, when you start to be creative and thinking about it as spell work, as magic, the sky's the limit. These are just some of my ideas. Hopefully they have inspired you to look at affirmations in a new way and get creative. And, I recommend just see, what works for you, where you could put them in throughout your day, and see how it changes your life. And if you have any other ideas or thoughts around affirmations, or affirmations that you really do love, please feel free to share them in the comments. And the more we say them, the more we put them out there, the more power they're going to have. So if there's an affirmation you love, please share it, or a way that you love to practice it, please share it. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for your time. I hope that you have a blessed day. Much love and blessed be.